Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in everyone's life when we stand at a crossroads. The road ahead is difficult, unclear, even terrifying. The weight on our shoulders feels unbearable, and the thought of pushing forward seems impossible. At that moment, something inside you will whisper, maybe it's time to quit. But I'm here to tell you this. When you hear that voice, that's when you need to force yourself to keep going. Napoleon Hill, one of the greatest minds in the field of personal development, once said a victory is always possible for the person who refuses to stop fighting. Let that sink in. Not for the person with the most talent, not for the one with the greatest resources, but for the one who refuses to stop fighting. That refusal to give in, that inner resolve to continue despite the odds, is what separates those who succeed from those who merely wish they had. It's not about having everything figured out. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or perfect conditions. It's about motion, action, persistence. It's about the fire inside you that refuses to be extinguished even when the world seems cold and unwelcoming. The truth is, success does not yield to the lazy or the easily discouraged. It bows to the relentless, the determined, the ones who, no matter how many times they fall, get back up. Those who continue, especially when they don't feel like it, are the ones who ultimately transform their dreams into reality. You see, Hill didn't become the icon he is by accident. He spent over 20 years studying the most successful individuals of his time: Andrew Carnegie, Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, just to name a few. What he discovered was a simple but profound truth: success is born of persistence. It's the relentless pursuit of a goal, long after the excitement has faded and the initial motivation is worn off. It's doing what must be done even when you no longer feel like doing it. Everyone wants to be great until it's time to do what greatness requires. Everyone wants the reward, but not everyone is willing to endure the grind. There are days when your energy is low, when the results don't come fast enough, when you feel invisible in a world that seems to celebrate everyone but you. And yet, that's when it matters most. Because the ability to push through those moments is what builds character. It's what shapes your destiny. You don't build endurance during the easy days. You don't grow strong when everything goes your way. You become powerful when you continue, even as the storms rage and the path becomes steep. Think about the seed pushing through the soil. It doesn't stop because it's dark or because it's buried. It forces itself upward, striving for the light it has never even seen. That's nature's way. That's life's way. And that should be your way. There's a myth that motivation has to be present for action to occur. But real growth begins when you act without motivation, when you show up out of discipline, not desire. That's when you reclaim control, because waiting for the right moment is a trap. The truth is, the right moment is the moment you choose to move, the moment you choose to fight, the moment you choose not to give up. Think about this. Every great achievement you admire was once just an idea, a whisper, a fragile dream that could have been easily crushed by doubt, fear, and fatigue. But those who achieved it forced themselves to continue even when everything in them screamed to stop. They wrote one more page, made one more call, took one more step. That's what carved their names into history. Not ease, not comfort, effort, relentless effort. Hill famously said, most great people have attained their greatest success just one step beyond their greatest failure. One step, one push. That's all that stood between defeat and victory. What if you're just one step away? What if the pain you feel right now is not a sign to quit, but a signal that you're almost there? Let me tell you something you already know deep down. You are stronger than you think. You are more capable than you give yourself credit for. You have faced hardship before. You've been through storms that threatened to tear you apart, and yet here you are, still breathing, still standing. That alone is proof that you have what it takes. But now it's time to raise the standard, to demand more from yourself. Not in the name of perfection, but in the name of growth. Because the version of you that you dream about becoming is on the other side of perseverance. It's hidden behind discomfort, shielded by resistance. If it were easy, everyone would do it, but it's not, and that's the point. The challenge exists to test your resolve, to see how badly you really want it. When your legs feel like lead and your mind is flooded with doubt, force yourself to take another step. When your plans fall apart and nothing seems to be working, force yourself to try again. When your heart is heavy and your dreams feel far away, force yourself to believe, if only a little, and then keep moving. Don't let the fear of failure paralyze you. Let it fuel you. Let it remind you that you're alive, that you care deeply, that you are daring great. Hill spoke about the power of desire. Burning desire is the starting point of all achievement. Not a wish, not a hope. A desire so strong that it becomes an obsession. That's the level of commitment required. That's the intensity needed. And when you have it, quitting is no longer an option. The only direction is forward. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to feel discouraged. But it's not okay to quit on yourself. Not now, not ever. The cost of quitting is too great. Regret is a heavy burden, far heavier than temporary exhaustion. You owe it to yourself, to the younger version of you who dared to dream, and to the future version of you waiting to thrive, to keep going. So what does a keep going look like in real life? It looks like showing up to the gym when you'd rather sleep. It looks like applying for that job again after rejection. It looks like writing another paragraph, another chapter, another draft. It looks like opening your heart one more time after it's been broken. It looks like facing your fears again and again and again until fear no longer has power over you. Every time you force yourself to keep going, you're sending a message to the universe, to your subconscious, and to your spirit. I will not be denied. I will not be broken. I will not stop. That message echoes louder than words. It builds momentum. It builds belief. And eventually it builds results. The journey will not be linear. There will be detours, delays, and disappointments. But so what? That's life. That's how every hero's story unfolds. The setbacks are not the end. They are tests designed to build your strength, clarify your vision, and prepare you for the greatness you're destined for. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Start creating them. Stop searching for motivation. Start being your own reason. Stop asking if it's worth it. Decide that it is. Decide that you are, because at the end of the day, it's not about talent, luck, or timing. It's about refusal, the refusal to give up no matter what. Hill once said, every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. So if you're facing adversity right now, congratulations. That means your opportunity is near. That means you're on the path. Don't turn back. Don't retreat. Lean in. Double down. Push harder. What you're capable of is so much greater than what you've achieved so far. But you'll never know that until you keep going, especially when it's hard, especially when your mind tells you that you can't. Because every time you prove that voice wrong, you grow, you rise, you become more. So I leave you with this. When everything inside you begs for rest, force yourself to take one more step. When the voices in your head say, you're not enough, answer back with action. Let your determination speak louder than your doubts. Let your commitment drown out your fear. And let your refusal to quit carry you all the way to the finish line. You were not born to quit. You were born to conquer. You were not built to give up. You were built to endure. So rise, even if it's hard. Fight, even if you're tired. And keep going, because your destiny depends on it. Success is not determined by one moment of brilliance or by an isolated burst of effort. It's shaped by consistent action day after day, even when the going gets tough. The most successful individuals are not always those with the most natural talent or the most favorable circumstances. They are the ones who refuse to give up, even when faced with difficulty. In essence, persistence is the key to success. Without it, all the talent, all the luck in the world amounts to nothing. In the pursuit of any goal, there are countless moments when the road ahead seems unclear or insurmountable. Obstacles appear out of nowhere, and challenges seem to multiply the further you go. In these moments, the temptation to quit can be overwhelming. It's easy to look at setbacks as signs that success is not meant for you, but this is exactly where persistence comes into play. Success does not come to those who never fail. It comes to those who fail and get up again and again and again. The simple act of continuing when the urge to stop is strong is often the difference between failure and success. Every successful person has faced moments of doubt. They've had days when they questioned whether they were on the right path. They've encountered rejection, disappointment, and frustration. But the key factor that separates those who achieve their dreams from those who don't is the decision to persist despite these obstacles. It's easy to keep going when things are easy and motivation is high. The true test of character comes when things aren't going well, when the path is unclear, and when every ounce of your energy is being drained. It is in these moments that persistence becomes your most valuable tool. What's crucial to understand is that persistence is not about having the energy or the motivation to keep going when you feel great. It's about doing the work even when you're tired, frustrated, or even demotivated. It's about showing up when you'd rather stay in bed or give up on your dreams. Success doesn't require constant bursts of enthusiasm. It requires steady, focused effort over time. The consistent actions, no matter how small, are what accumulate to create extraordinary results. Think of the countless stories of individuals who were told they weren't good enough, who faced rejection after rejection. Thomas Edison famously had hundreds of failed experiments before he finally invented the light bulb. If he had given up after the first 10th or 100th failure, we might never have known the brilliance of his work. Instead, he saw each failure not as the end, but as a necessary part of the journey, a lesson that was crucial for ultimate success. The true power of persistence lies in its ability to transform the impossible into the possible. At first, every task may feel monumental and progress may seem slow, but as you continue, each step becomes easier. You start to build momentum, and what once seemed overwhelming now feels manageable. Over time, persistence builds not only the results you seek, but also the resilience needed to face future challenges. With every obstacle you overcome, you grow stronger and more capable. The road to success is rarely a straight path. It's filled with twists, turns, and detours, but those who persist are able to navigate these difficulties because they view setbacks as temporary and surmountable. They understand that failure is not a permanent state. It's merely a step toward a greater success. In fact, it is often through our failures that we learn the most important lessons, lessons that would have been impossible to learn had things been easy from the start. Persistence also cultivates a mindset of possibility. When you refuse to quit, you train your mind to see solutions instead of problems. You develop the belief that no matter how difficult the situation may seem, there is always a way forward. This mindset is critical because in many cases, success is not about knowing exactly how things will work out. It's about continuing to move forward with faith that the answers will come as long as you keep going. Growth does not happen in comfort. In fact, growth is most profound when we are forced out of our safe spaces, when we encounter challenges that stretch us beyond our perceived limits. We often seek comfort because it feels safe and safety feels good. But the truth is, safety is not where growth lies. It's easy to stay in the familiar, to keep doing what we already know because it doesn't require much effort or risk. But the magic, the transformation, and the breakthroughs occur when we push ourselves beyond that boundary. If you truly want to grow, to evolve into a better version of yourself, you need to embrace discomfort. That means stepping into situations where you might not have all the answers, where the outcome is uncertain, and where you may fail. The key is not to avoid discomfort, but to lean into it. It's this willingness to face discomfort head on that shapes your character, strengthens your resolve, and unlocks new levels of potential. Think about any significant accomplishment in your life, whether personal or professional. Most likely it came after facing some form of discomfort. Whether it was learning a new skill, making an important decision, or confronting a difficult challenge, discomfort was part of the process. But it was also through this discomfort that you grew stronger, wiser, and more capable. Discomfort is the seedbed of resilience. Without challenges, you would never have had to develop the mental toughness and the patience needed to succeed. It's during those tough times when you question yourself, when the path ahead feels unclear, that you discover how deep your strength runs. If you can force yourself to keep moving when everything feels hard, you become an individual capable of achieving things that others only dream of. When we're in a state of comfort, our brains tend to operate on autopilot. We stick to routines, do what's easy, and avoid risks. But the world outside of our comfort zones is where true potential lies. Great achievements are not born from avoiding discomfort. They are born from navigating through it, learning from it, and using it as fuel to propel us forward. This is where the real challenge lies, not in waiting for discomfort to go away, but in learning how to thrive in the face of it. For example, athletes push their bodies to their limits during training, knowing that the pain and discomfort they endure will pay off in improved performance. Entrepreneurs take risks and endure uncertainty because they understand that every challenge they face is an opportunity for growth. Whether it's the discomfort of rejection, failure, or criticism, those who achieve greatness are the ones who push through the discomfort with the knowledge that it's part of the process. The discomfort you feel when pushing toward your goals isn't a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's actually a sign that you're on the right one. Discomfort indicates that you are growing, that you are challenging yourself to rise above where you currently are. Without discomfort, there would be no progress. Without challenges, there would be no need for change. The discomfort you're experiencing right now is simply the price you must pay to reach your full potential. It's important to understand that discomfort isn't always negative. It can be a sign that you're on the verge of a breakthrough. When things feel difficult, remember that you are in the process of transformation. Your skills are being sharpened, your mind is expanding, and your capacity to deal with adversity is being strengthened. So, when discomfort arises, don't shy away from it. Embrace it. Embrace it. Welcome it as an essential part of your growth journey. You may not always be in control of the challenges that come your way, but you are always in control of how you respond to them. You can choose to run from discomfort, or you can choose to face it, to learn from it, and to push through it. The decision you make in those moments shapes who you become. Every time you decide to embrace discomfort, you send a message to your mind and your body. I am capable of handling this. I am strong enough to push forward no matter what. In the end, the most successful people are not those who avoid discomfort. They are the ones who rise above it. They understand that success is not about avoiding the tough moments, but about learning to persevere through them. By embracing discomfort, you turn every challenge into an opportunity for growth. You become stronger, more resilient, and more prepared for the next step on your journey. That motivation is often seen as the key to success. People wait for that spark of inspiration to drive them into action, believing that motivation will carry them through the tough times. But the truth is, motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes, and it cannot be relied upon as the foundation for consistent act. If you only act when you feel motivated, you will find that your progress is sporadic at best. The real secret to achieving your goals lies not in waiting for motivation, but in cultivating discipline and consistency. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when you don't feel like getting up. It's what drives you to keep going when motivation has abandoned you. While motivation may give you an initial burst of energy or enthusiasm, discipline is what sustains you over the long haul. It's the ability to keep doing the work day after day, even when you don't feel like it. It's about building habits and routines that support your goals, even when your emotions don't align with your actions. The most successful people in the world don't rely on motivation to achieve their dreams. They rely on discipline. They understand that success is not a result of how they feel in the moment, but of what they are willing to do consistently over time. Whether it's writing that extra page, going to the gym when you're tired, or pushing through a difficult conversation, discipline is the force that ensures you keep going. This is why it's essential to focus on developing habits and routines that support your goals, not waiting for motivation to strike. Motivation may be what gets you started, but it's discipline that keeps you going. When you rely on motivation, you're at the mercy of your feelings and circumstances. Ooh. When you rely on discipline, you create a system that moves you forward regardless of how you feel. Think about it. Every major achievement you've accomplished was likely done through small, consistent actions over time. It wasn't a one-time burst of motivation that got you there. It was the daily commitment to your goals, whether it was studying for an exam, preparing for a presentation, or working on a personal project. You didn't rely on feeling motivated to take action. You simply did the work, even when you didn't feel like it. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is often not talent or ability, but consistency. Success doesn't come from doing something extraordinary once in a while. It comes from doing the ordinary things consistently, even when it's hard. When you focus on the process and commit to showing up regardless of your emotional state, you create a steady stream of progress that adds up over time. This steady effort leads to mastery, and mastery leads to success. One of the biggest challenges in the pursuit of our goals is the expectation that we should feel motivated all the time. It's easy to assume that if we're not feeling inspired or energized, then we must not be on the right path. But that's not true. Motivation ebbs and flows. Some days you will feel energized and excited to take on the world. Other days you will feel tired, frustrated, or uninspired. The key is to continue working even on the days when motivation is. When you push through these low energy moments, you prove to yourself that you don't need to feel motivated to take action. You build resilience, and you begin to see progress even when it doesn't feel easy. Over time, this builds momentum, and you start to realize that motivation is not as important as you once thought. Consistency, however, is everything. The more you show up, the more natural it becomes to do the work, even when you'd rather not. Discipline is also what allows you to stay focused on the long-term vision. It's easy to get caught up in short-term emotions or setbacks. Motivation can easily fade when you're not seeing immediate results, and discouragement can creep in. But discipline reminds you that success is a marathon, not a sprint. It encourages you to keep taking small steps forward, even when progress feels slow. It teaches you to focus on the process, not the outcome, knowing that if you continue to put in the work, the results will eventually follow. By developing discipline, you can create a structure for your life that allows you to take consistent action, regardless of how motivated or inspired you feel. This is the key to achieving anything worthwhile. Success is not about waiting for the perfect moment or the right burst of inspiration. It's about doing the work every day, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, and even when you don't feel like. When motivation fades, discipline steps in. When motivation runs dry, consistency takes over. And when motivation fails, the habits you've built will carry you forward. So don't wait for motivation to show up. Start with discipline. Build your habits. Show up every day, and the results will come. Great achievements often come at the point where most people would have given up. There's a common misconception that success is a straight line, that it happens gradually with each step leading naturally to the next. But in reality, the journey to success is full of setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. The difference between those who succeed and those who quit is often just one more step, the step that comes after failure, the step that others are unwilling to take. When you're in the thick of a challenge, when it feels like everything is going wrong, it can be easy to think that you've reached your limit. You may feel that all your efforts have been in vain, and it's tempting to throw in the towel. But it's at these moments that persistence becomes most important. The crucial factor in any pursuit is the ability to take one more step, even when everything within you tells you to stop. This one step beyond failure is often the moment where the breakthrough happens. Think of the famous stories of people who achieved great success after enduring countless failures. Thomas Edison, after thousands of failed experiments, finally created the light bulb. Michael Jordan, who was cut from his high school basketball team, went on to become one of the greatest players in history. The common thread among all these stories is that they didn't give up after their first failure, or even their 10th. They pushed through, refused to stop, and took that one extra step that others were too afraid to take. Failure is not the end of the road. It's simply a part of the journey. Every setback carries within it the seeds of future success. It's easy to feel defeated when things don't go as planned, but it's important to remember that failure is often a redirection, not a dead end. It teaches you valuable lessons, sharpens your skills, and helps you build resilience. But it's only by pushing past failure that you can see the fruits of your labor. Taking one more step means refusing to accept it. It means looking at the obstacles in front of you, acknowledging the difficulties, and then deciding that you won't let them stop you. That step may feel small in the moment, but it has the potential to lead you to the outcome you've been striving for. It's a testament to your commitment, to your belief in your goals, and to your refusal to allow temporary setbacks to define your future. We often hear people talk about their dreams and their goals, but what separates dreamers from achievers is the willingness to keep going when it feels like nothing is happening. The first step toward your goal is the easiest because it's filled with excitement and possibility. But as time goes on and progress becomes slow, the real test begins. This is where most people give up. They've faced a few failures, they're discouraged, and they think the dream is out of reach. But those who keep going, those who take that one extra step, are the ones who turn their dreams into reality. It's essential to develop the mindset that failure is not final. When things go wrong, don't let it be a signal to stop. Let it be a signal to adjust your approach, to learn from the experience, and to keep moving forward. Every failure is an opportunity for growth, for refinement, and for building the resilience that will carry you through future challenges. Taking that one extra step also requires trust. Trust that the hard work you're putting in is leading you towards something greater. Trust that the setbacks are part of the process and not a sign that you should quit. It's this trust that allows you to keep going when the results are not immediately visible. Trust in the process. Trust in your ability to overcome. Trust that success is just around the corner, and the only thing you need to do is keep walking. The truth is that success rarely comes from the first attempt. It's the result of consistent effort, relentless perseverance, and the ability to press forward even when the odds seem stacked against you. The path to success is often a series of small victories and incremental progress. It's not about grand leaps or sudden breakthroughs. It's about the quiet, consistent steps you take every day, even when progress is slow. So, the next time you face a setback, when the path ahead seems unclear, remember this: you are just one step away from a breakthrough. Don't stop now. Keep moving. Take that one more step, even when it feels like there's nothing left to give. That's the moment when things can change. That's the moment when your persistence will pay off and success will be within. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after adversity, to rise after being knocked down, and to continue moving forward despite the difficulties that arise. It is one of the most powerful traits you can develop on your journey to success, as it enables you to navigate life's inevitable challenges with strength, determination, and a positive outlook. Resilience is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up when things get tough. It's not about avoiding setbacks, about how you respond to them. Life is unpredictable, and there will always be moments when things don't go according to plan. Whether it's a personal loss, a financial setback, a professional failure, or any number of other challenges, adversity is part of the human experience. But it's not the challenges themselves that define us. It's how we choose to face. Resilience is about acknowledging the difficulty, feeling the pain, but then choosing to keep moving forward. It's about not allowing one setback, one failure, or one disappointment to dictate your entire future. When you encounter setbacks, it's natural to feel frustration, anger, or sadness. These emotions are a normal part of the process, but they cannot be allowed to define you. The key to resilience is not in avoiding negative emotions, but in learning how to manage them and move forward regardless. This is where the strength lies, in your ability to keep going when everything within you might want to quit. Resilient individuals understand that setbacks are temporary and that they have the power to recover and move past them. A resilient mindset shifts the perspective on challenges. Instead of seeing setbacks as obstacles, resilient people see them as opportunities for growth and learning. Every failure, every setback carries with it valuable lessons that can help you improve and refine your approach moving forward. When you embrace resilience, you stop viewing adversity as something to be feared or avoided, and instead you begin to view it as an inevitable part of the process of becoming better, stronger, and more capable. Moreover, resilience is deeply tied to your sense of purpose. When you have a strong why, a deep belief in the importance of your goals, you are far more likely to stay focused and determined in the face of adversity. Resilience grows from a clear vision and a strong commitment to your dreams. It's about having the courage to pursue what matters to you, even when the road is tough, because you know that the challenges you face along the way will only serve to make your eventual success even sweeter. One of the key components of resilience is adaptability. Life doesn't always go according to plan, and sometimes you will have to adjust your course in response to unexpected challenges. Resilient individuals are not rigid in their thinking. They are flexible and able to adapt to changing circumstances. They don't dwell on what went wrong or get stuck in the past. Instead, they look forward, ready to pivot, adjust their approach, and keep moving toward their ultimate goal. Resilience means being able to recover from setbacks quickly, to remain open to new ideas, and to persist no matter what obstacles appear along the way. Resilience also involves self belief. It's about knowing deep down that you are capable of handling whatever life throws at you. It's not about being invulnerable to failure, but about having the confidence to keep going, even when things get difficult. Resilient people don't let failure define them. Instead, they see it as a stepping stone to success. They trust in their ability to learn, grow, and improve, and they know that even when things go wrong, they have the strength to get back up and try again. Building resilience is not something that happens overnight. It takes practice, patience, and a willingness to fail and try again. Every time you encounter an obstacle and choose to keep going, you are strengthening your resilience. Each challenge you overcome makes you more capable of handling the next one. Over time, as you face adversity and rise above it, you will develop a mindset that doesn't fear failure, but embraces it as a part of the journey. Success is not about avoiding failure or challenges. It's about how you respond to them. Those who succeed are not those who avoid difficulty, but those who continue to move forward no matter the setbacks. Resilience is about understanding that the road to success is never a smooth one. It's about having the courage to keep going, even when the path is unclear, even when the journey feels too hard, and even when the outcome is uncertain. It's about trusting that no matter how difficult things get, you have the strength to keep going, to rise after every fall, and to ultimately achieve the success you seek. Resilience is the foundation of perseverance. It's the belief that no matter what happens, you will keep moving forward step by step until you reach your goal. It's about cultivating the inner strength that allows you to stand tall in the face of adversity and keep pushing forward, even when the odds are stacked against you. Resilient people understand that setbacks are just temporary and that their dreams are worth the struggle. They know that success is not determined by how many times they fall, but by how many times they get back up.